everybody, my name is Hannah. Today I am going to be coming at you with a August wrap-up. It is very late. It's already like almost mid-September and I'm just now doing this video. But that's just because I got really behind on my videos. So now I'm just like trying to catch up. The first book that I read in the month of August was Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and I'm actually reading Thunderhead right now. This was a great book. I am very excited to be reading the series. I was very surprised as to how much I liked it. It's basically not a dystopian, but a futuristic novel of what the world would be today if a genuine AI who only wants the best for the world kind of took over, but that means there's no death. So in that case, the Thunderhead, who is the AI, planted scythes around the world, which are just people. He chooses to be a scythe, and they are able to kill people off for good, basically. And so it's just there's a lot of politics in this, political intrigue. The way that they kill people is called gleaning, and if you get gleaned, you're gleaned for good. You're never coming back. Basically, if you can die in these books and come back. If you die any other way than getting gleaned by a scythe, you come back, except unless you burn, I think. So yeah, it's very interesting, and I really loved the characters. Rowan and Citra were just amazing. I love them so much. If there's not a romance between them, I'd be so upset. It was also just a lot of fun, and it was very fast-paced, I thought. So yeah, this was a great book. I then did a buddy read with Jen from the Thebookrefuge. I'm going to link her channel down below. We did a buddy read on My Plain Jane, and I think we both liked it, but we also both had some issues with it. The authors, Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodi Meadows, all collaborated on this book, and it is about Charlotte Bronte and Jane Eyre. In this book, they're friends, and she kind of writes Jane Eyre off of Jane Eyre in this book. I'll just read the back, because I'm really bad about giving away spoilers. It says, a fantastic, romantic, comedic, entirely, but not really, faithful retelling of Jane Eyre. You may think you know the story. After a miserable childhood, penniless orphan Jane Eyre becomes a governess at Thornfield Hall. There, she meets one dark, brooding Mr. Rochester. Despite their significant age gap and his uneven temper, they fall in love, and reader, she marries him. We have a different story to tell you. My main issue was, I'm going to spoil the book. I'm going to say spoilers for this book. There was something that bothered me so much in this book. Okay, so whenever my hand goes down, that means my spoiler's done. What bothered me was that at the end of the book, after Jane Eyre had fallen in love with Mr. Rochester and we found out that his wife was not, evil and crazy, they come along and they're like, here's my son. You fell in love with me, but here's my child, and you can fall in love with him. And I just thought that was so weird. That was really one of the biggest things that threw me off. But anyways, one thing that I thought was interesting was that the wife wasn't really crazy, as people said, but really she saw ghosts, and she was a beacon, a person that the ghosts are super attracted to and think that they're beautiful, and basically beacons have control over ghosts and stuff. She really was just going insane from being locked up all the time and knowing, and then Mr. Rochester gets possessed. That's something that I thought was really interesting, because I always felt horrible for the wife in the real Jane Eyre. And so I always thought wow, this is how people who were mentally ill were treated. So it was really interesting to see how that played out in this book. I was really wondering how it would. So anyways, spoilers are over. But other than that, this was a good book. The writing was fun. The characters were a lot of fun. They were really funny. I found myself laughing a lot. The last book that I read, I actually did a buddy read with Nahid from Bookswithnahid, and I'll link her channel down below as well. And I read Obsidio, which was a lot of fun. it's really nice to be done with a series. It feels really good. Obviously by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, if you didn't know. I felt like it wrapped up really nicely. Me and Nahid, we talked about how dark this one got. It got kind of, I mean, the others were pretty action-packed and intense and violent, but like this one got dark, like way darker than I had imagined. Anyways, I really like how it wrapped up the series. It was a lot of fun to read. These books are always a quick read. This one actually took me a little longer to get through, but I think it was because there was more of the actual like book pages instead of just the other pages like this. This is my wrap up. My phone is being horrible and keeps shutting down on me, so I have to go. I'm terribly sorry.